Happy Monstering, and welcome to another episode of My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
And Monster Handler Mike.
Mike, thanks for sitting back in the hot seat today. Today's going to be a very nice episode of My Singing Monsters Live.
Super nice.
And lots of great things to talk about. But first, we've got to begin it as we always do with some housekeeping. We're going to talk about the giveaway. Every single episode of My Singing Monsters Live, we do a giveaway. Usually, it's related to what's going on that week in the monster world. And this week is no different. We'll get to all that exciting stuff in a second. But the most important information for you at this time is how do you enter the giveaway? Mike, do you remember how you enter the giveaway?
Usually I say it's hashtag.
That would be incorrect. Don't listen to Mike.
Exclamation mark
like
giveaway.
Exclamation.
Hey, be like Mike. Mike is a punk. Mike is cool.
Very nice hat there,
you.
Monster Handler Mike. So yes, it's exclamation point giveaway. You type that in the chat here of the live stream, and then you will automatically be entered to win today's giveaway. What is the giveaway? It's a very nice giveaway, but we're going to get to that at a later date. The first thing we want to go through is take a look back in Monster World history and see what happened on this day.
So instead of a later date, this date.
On this day,
that is today.
Heading back in the history of the Monster World, we had Rare Reedling available for the very first time in 2015. 5 years old, Rare Reedling. And then just last year, Epic Bogart was released for the very first time. A double day.
A double day?
Yes, very busy.
Day.
But it'll also go down in history as the day that Rare Willoughby was first released on Fire Oasis.
A loaded day.
A very loaded day.
Feature.
I love this Fire Rare Willoughby. It was, of course, teased, hinted at on social media as we are wont to do. And many people guessed correctly, but it's still an exciting surprise to see it in the flesh and in the furthers.
In the fur.
The other exciting thing that's happening this weekend, of course, is that we've got a breeding bonanza on the Natural Islands, in which all single-element ethereal monsters have their breeding chances boosted by 500%.
500!
Now, well, you've got to calm down, Michael. You're
It's
freaking
exciting.
me out. It is very exciting. So, what are the single-element ethereals? Do you remember?
The single element ethereals?
Yes.
Well, there would be Mammoth.
No.
Oh, ethereals! I was
All right.
single element.
We'll get back to you in a second. Here, we got Gast, Grumpire.
I wasn't listening.
No, you weren't. Rebro, Geode, and Humbug. But also this weekend, we have Grumpire.
Whoa!
Is our featured ethereal for 50% off in the market on Cold Island.
Price.
Sort of nice. Grumpire, also a dark furred monster. Sort of has a kindred spirit thing going on with Rare Willoughby this weekend. So a nice synergy happening there.
Synergistic.
Of course, there's also monster-sized savings on the treasure chest and diamond dumpster diamond in-app purchase packs. Monster-sized. Monster-sized. And of course, since this is our first official episode of March 2020, you can get as part of our Lucky Star promotion 20% off Glacier on Celestial Island, the Celestial of Cold. Are you born this month? Did you check out your Celestial Fortune? If not, you can head back on both our Facebook and our Twitter pages to see what your Celestial Fortune is for the month of March. Switching over to Dawn of Fire. The timing of this is perfect. Of course, we had Rare Reedling released 5 years ago today. But today, we've got 50% off Reedling. The natural Reedling in Dawn of Fire.
Synergy.
Exactly. On both the continent and on Cloud Island, where it appears. You get 40% more in diamond packs in Dawn of Fire as well. And, of course...
Glacier.
And Glacier as well in Dawn of Fire, available as part of the Frozen Form Star Chart, traveling along with your Cosmic Dice each and every day during the month of March, and also available to purchase on Starhenge, if you so choose, if you've got the diamonds on hand.
Wow.
So that's all the exciting stuff that's going on.
Lots of stuff.
This weekend in My Singing Monsters and Dawn of Fire. Lots of great promotions. And one final thing that I'll mention, we've got some pretty astute members of our community. They may have noticed that alongside Rare Willoughby today, certain shadowed figures appeared on a certain Book of Monsters page. Not yet out in the wild. Very unusual.
Shadow figures.
Perhaps, though, they won't have very long to wait for them to emerge out of the mist and become collectible, but you will have to wait just a little bit longer. Perhaps you can tune in next week on My Seeing Monsters Live, episode 70, and we can discuss what sort of thing that might be. So I just wanted to lay that groundwork now.
Very nice.
But you know what other groundwork we're going to lay?
We're going to lay
some quick questions. Some quick
Monster
questions that Monster and the Matt's going to answer, and you're going to ask them.
You going to ask me them? Is that what you're saying? No.
No, other way around there.
At
boy.
IsaacJ14, hashtag My Seeing Monsters.
No.
My Streaming Monsters. How do wallabies get their birds?
How do wallabies get their birds? Well, Isaac J14. How do any organisms find each other in sort of
it's
symbiosis?
Like the shark
and the remora. Exactly. They're certainly not born together. They don't. The birds don't spring out of the wallaby egg, but they do. Yes, there's sort of a natural a calling between the two. They have this symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
Right?
Symbiosis.
Exactly.
Not like the symbiote.
No. There's no venom. Well, although rare wallaby is pretty punk. This is punk. Pretty hardcore, man. Or more punk than puff, of course. So yes, they find each other over the course of their lives. They don't spring into existence together. They join up at a later date.
Beautiful. Run the appetizer. Do prismatics have certain crafted items they could use in their free time?
A very interesting question.
That is interesting.
Obviously, the crafting items in Dawn of Fire are sort of the exclusive dominion of the continent. Not as many crafting items out on the Outer Islands, with the notable exception, of course, of prismants that you collect as part of any engagement with the Prism Gate. But I would say that based on prismatic monsters' sort of demeanor and their physical appearance, there'd be certain items that they'd like. As an example, I could see how, for example, the recently released prismatic mammoth, the Prism Gate for which closed just this past Wednesday. Hopefully you had a chance to collect some of those on your Outer Islands. So I could see that the prismatic mammoth would really enjoy a Rocky Road donut.
I could really enjoy a Rocky Road donut.
Unfortunately, I don't have any on hand for you.
Dang it.
Michael. Sorry, buddy.
Sasha just answered. Does Glacier like hockey, much like myself?
Ooh.
Or any icy sport like curling, snowboarding, etc.? Which this reminds me.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were Team Cold.
I am.
So this is definitely your vibe, right? You like hockey. Glacier, I can confirm. Glacier also loves all winter sports.
Born in the January.
So that means that you're an Ocean's Tears boy, though. I'm a Poison's Mark myself. Almost Shadowed Glare, right on the cusp.
But this reminds me of, as you said, likes them all.
Yes.
The Instagram post of the hockey. Pango, I believe, and...
Was that a send-up of the Golden Knights?
Well, it was the Golden Knights versus the Washington Capitals.
Aha. Or was it the Pittsburgh Penguins?
No, it was Capitals.
Then what was Pango doing there?
He was representing the Washington Capitals.
Aha.
Birds.
A likely story.
And then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone remembers this, I almost think it was Polk, maybe? Who was the Knights?
That does sound familiar because of the night.
Mask.
So yes, Glacier likes all winter sports, as do we, as evidenced by our tangent there. What's next, Michael?
Imagine Stars Productions asks, how did the rare Punkleton lose its pumpkin head, and how did he get the heart and organs?
Very interesting question, Imagine Stars Productions. It's never fun to watch someone let themselves go, but that's sort of what is happening with rare Punkleton. Tried to hold on for too long without much care of its organic head.
Fell apart.
Yes, quite a bit of decomposition and sloppy sort of stuff going on there. You can see a bit of it dangling, sort of like not unlike a beard, underneath the paper bag that rare Punkletons wear on their heads. So that's what's going on there. Just natural decomposition of the organic head of the rare Punkleton. How common Punkletons are able to avoid this fate, sort of unclear. Perhaps something to do with the unique chemical composition of rare Punkleton. Because remember, rares, subspecies of the common monsters, there's certain things about them that are different. Certain other
environmental pressures.
All sorts of stuff. Now, with respect to the organs that are present inside the rib cage of the rare Punkleton. Unclear if those are just trinkets that have been collected and stored up in there. I certainly have never had the guts to go and try and...
you never had the guts?
Monster Handler Eric would be proud of that pun. Monster Handler Eric is operating the camera and the chat today. Everyone say, "Hi, Eric." Hi, Eric. There he is.
He didn't even wave, didn't even look at us.
Well, it's because he's so focused on the task at hand, as should we be. What's the next question, Michael?
Psychedelic. This is going to be hard. Do Yelmut ever lose their voices?
That's one of the amazing things. Recall that Yelmuts are quads, right? Pretty close to masters of their craft. Masters of their domain. Lord of the Dominion. And so as a result of that, Yelmuts have never lost their voice.
Not one Yelmut?
Okay, maybe every once in a while, but from extreme overuse, when it was forced to carry on a solo for hours at a time. Yes.
Ivan B. Is the Red... Oh, I was going to say is the Red Sox.
No.
Is the Rare Sox a
That's something
reference
different.
to Gremlins? They look green, similar eyes, and they got them pointy ears.
An interesting idea. I wonder what sort of gizmo that they used to try and send in that question, that quick question. I know that Monster Handler Chris, who is responsible for the look and feel of many of the rares, is a huge 80s and thriller horror movie fan, so it's probably likely that there was some indirect inspiration. Don't know if it was specifically the inspiration for Rare Sox, but Rare Sox definitely, because of a bunch of other things going on there, you know, the gazelle-like horns of the Rare Sox, lots of an amalgam of different stuff.
And it's one of those things you wonder, even if it wasn't intentional, if it's one of those things that's just
seeped in.
It's part
exactly,
of you, right?
Subconsciously.
Diamond Illuminati, what islands are Titans and which are Colossals?
An excellent question, Diamond Illuminati, and one that I'm happy to answer at this time. A good way to remember which which islands are Titans is by identifying which ones are not Colossals. So, here and now I will list off
so
the
it's
Titans
easier to say not Colossal.
It's a Colossal unless otherwise stated. Here are the Titans that we know about. The Titans encompass all of the known island skin characters that we've met up until this time. So that's Harvard of Vegetable Medley. There's the Sweaty... I'm almost there. Sweaty of Sweaty Settlement. The Gigacheep of Gigacheep Nest. The Stone Scribes, of which Hahu is a member for the Temple of Hahu. So that those four, the island skins. And also the Magical Islands. That's Cloraft, the Psychic Titan, and Facade, the Fairy Titan.
So
those are the Titans.
Yes,
those are six. Those are the Titans that have been discovered up until this time. Everybody else is a Colossal. Those grandiose spirits of creation that helped to form the monster world.
Kind of the OGs.
Yeah. Definitely.
Super A Gaming 64. If the Fire Islands come back all of a sudden, will the real Fire Frontier be revealed one day?
If the Fire Islands come back all of a sudden, an interestingly phrased question.
So far as away.
Yeah, so far as I know, the original objective. The original objective of the expedition which discovered Fire Frontier in the first place was being led by fire elementals like Kana, like, Rudatoot and Ziggurat, sort of lieutenants and bosuns on the journeys to try and discover more islands.
Bosuns, word of the day.
Can you spell it?
B-O.
Good so far.
S-S-O-N-S.
No. B-O-A-T-S-W-A-I-N. It looks like boatswain, but it's bosun. Isn't that exciting?
Bosun.
Anyway, if you were a fire elemental, chances are that you were involved in the expedition to search for more of the monster world, and that's how Fire Frontier first got its name, until, of course, it was later discovered that it was, in fact, Psychic Island. There was already a previously a native elemental population on there. You do remember, because, of course, that was anniversary month of last year when we were trying to figure out what was going on. And
when you said last year for a second, I was like, oh my god, what year?
I mean the calendar year, 2019. And so, in terms of the other fire islands that are out there, so far as I know, there are only two, and only ever will be two. That's Fire Haven and Fire Oasis. The Fire populations sort of split evenly between those two, below ground and above ground, new sort of bases of operation for all things fire.
Beautiful.
In the monster world in contemporary era.
Tall Tim 10, is Giga Cheap classed as a Titan?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I believe you said
that. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, if it's an island skin, it's a Titan.
Say that 5 times fast.
If it's an island skin, it's a Titan. If it's not skin, it's a Titan. Anyway.
Cerulean Skies was took. How did you manage to make Oasis so pretty?
Oh, well, I'll have to pass that along to the artist who created Fire Oasis. I know that the starting idea of it being sort of a blown glass structure was one that the entire creative team sort of got together, but it was really the work of specific artists who brought the beauty of all of those blown glass shapes to life.
Maybe one day they'll join us.
Maybe.
Halloween Lover, can Theramine's mouth that it makes with its mind eat? I had to process. Your
own mind was struggling with that one. Can Theramine's mouth? No, I believe that those mouths are sort of metaphysical. They're not actually real.
Okay. I was gonna say
they're there. We can hear them. We can hear them, but it's sort of like the astral projection that you see in like Doctor Strange.
So it's like a hologram.
Sort of. Not technological, but more like
yes.
Psionic. Yes.
So
how do they eat though? With their own little tiny little puckered mouth that you see.
Whoa. I'm gonna ask 2 more questions.
All right.
Shadowy, random. I'm gonna say. How can the maw eat so much? Where goes the food?
Where goes the food? Very, very fast metabolism. As soon as those cupcakes are in, they're pretty much used. And the great thing about monster digestion, and we've talked about this before, practically no waste. A few belches, maybe a few unfortunate toots in the sleep, like Riedling is sometimes prone to do. But yeah, very efficient digestion systems, excellent metabolism. Basically, it goes in, it gets absorbed, and you're out, and then you're on to the next.
In, out.
So that's how moths can eat so much.
So this will be the last question.
Yes.
For today. Aura Sora Gotcha Team. How long does it take on average to make a single monster?
That certainly varies. Something like the Wubbox took a lot longer from both a programming and an art and sound standpoint. But, for example, if we were to look back at the most recent island released, Fairy Island, some monsters took longer than others. Flute Fly, since we had already decided that we wanted to breathe new life into that character, less time on designing it, although we had a couple of ideas that we wanted to go back and forth between. But I think, all told, from the composition of the musical part that the monster plays, all the way through to designing the monster, painting up the monster, animating the monster, and then bug testing them to make sure that they work in the context of the
2
game,
hours.
I'd say about 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Close.
So you had the 2 correct. As is so often the case, I have part of the answer correct in this next segment, but not always. This next segment is the Stump of the Week, in which the community sends in a question attempting to bamboozle me, Monster Handler Matt, and they have very consistently done. The only one in recent memory that I got correct was the Order of the Prismatic Furcorn Rarities, because I knew that one right away. But who knows if I'll get today's. All right, Michael, are you ready to
Stump of the Week is, I don't know who sent this in. I am missing that. So I'm sorry. I'll try.
Perhaps
and give you
Monster
credit.
Handler Eric will try and track it down while I struggle with the answer.
What is the longest track that is accessible in the recording studio? Hint: it's not any of Wubbox's tracks.
Oh.
Thank you for being nice and getting a hint. Sam Cropper 8.
Thank you, Sam Cropper, for putting me through the ringer once again. Interesting. We don't often talk about the recording studio.
No.
Very underrated structure in My Singing Monsters. You can teach the monsters new musical parts and have them sing it, and you can make it whatever you want. You can record stuff. It's great. It's a great little structure recording studio. But the question is, what is the longest track accessible in it? And of course, the Wordos are not in the recording studio either. The longest track, I'm gonna say that it's one of Quibbles.
Show me.
Do I have to specify what island?
Drag on track 1.
I didn't. So that's a stump.
That's
then.
a big old.
All right.
Dump.
Eric, can you call out from beyond? There it is. Yep. All right. I accept it. No, I wasn't.
Better luck next
Wasn't
time.
even close. Wasn't even close.
You need
Drag on. Great ethereal monster. Great ethereal monster.
Well, I guess that brings us to our next part in the show.
Now this part I can't mess up. Yeah, I can't mess this part up because all we have to do is just admire the amazing artwork sent in to us by the community. If you've got a piece of artwork that you've created, make sure to send it to us on any of our social media channels using the hashtag MyStreamingMonsters. That's what these folks did, and that's why they're featured on the show. Let's take a look.
Here is Alex Wood's first thing, which I think, if I'm not mistaken,
it's
a paper craft mammoth.
It is a paper craft mammoth, beautifully folded.
Yes.
This is a Monstergami.
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 It reminds me of Cootie Catcher.
Yes. From Ben Kaplan, here are some wonderful, what look like young forms of several ethereals and wubblins.
You got a fave?
I see Punkleton in there as well. I really like the hat on Bona.
Yeah, I also was drawn to Bona.
But I also really like the little spinny hat that you can see visible on Dermot there as well.
I like Punkleton
that sort of helps to inspire the young form of Cybop. That spinny hat. Well done, Ben. Beautiful work of art.
Wow.
I love this. What a sweet, sweet lady. Everton here has sent in the Clam Bell.
A bell, yes.
Clam Bell.
Clam
yes,
Bell.
This is Clam Bell.
Oh, wow. I would love to see more of this.
Tale as old as time.
What do you think?
As old as song. Who's Beast?
Yeah.
I know. I was just talking about him, but I think Dermot would make a good Beast.
Yeah.
Big hulking.
Big, yes. Big.
Wow, Handler Sock Thread here has a beautifully depicted scene of Bridget serving tea, as its bio relates that it does, to some young monsters, a Flower and a Barb. Flower and Barb, sort of kindred spirits, both plant-based monsters, double and triple elements respectively. Look at the expression on that Bridget as it gently pours the tea. Love the tea set too. Mm-hmm. Perhaps that's Mrs. Potts back from Clam Bell. Beautiful. Whoa, Looper here has some amazing versions
cool
of
dudes.
Well, perhaps going off on the young theme, or maybe it's just an artistic interpretation. Either way, we've got here an awesome Gloptic and a Poppet.
I really like
Poppet like Babette. We've got a Beauty and the Beast theme.
We got an Instagram post in the making here.
I love it. Look at the shading. Look at the attention to detail. You get a real sense of the texture of them, the gooiness.
Poppet always looks so chewy.
From MMPKCLYSM. Apocalypse. We have here far from an apocalyptic view. It looks rather fun. Yes, Bisonarus looks like it's sliding across the landscape of Cave Island.
I see it. I see it now.
It's the Wonder Mine.
Oh! I take it back. Look at all those crystals. I should have known better. It's the Wonder Mine. Thank you for the correction.
Stumped!
And you know what? You know what also would have been a good way to tell? Is because it is a young Bisonarus that's depicted.
I see it.
I think.
I see it.
Not an adult one. So, okay, the stumping continues, but...
Who would have thought we would have had 2 in one episode?
But the artwork will speak for itself, obviously. It's beautiful artwork. From Sankasar Laxono, here is an awesome shaded maw.
This reminds me of drawings I used to do in my youth.
Is this a sort of art that you'd produce there, Monster
I was
Hunter
definitely
Michael?
a sketcher.
I always pressed too hard with my pencil.
Me too. So I was a big.
Yeah. So then when I went to erase it, you could see what I'd drawn before, and I ended up being a real goof. But not the case here with Sankasar's artwork. Perfectly shaded.
I love the teeth.
Nice contrast. Well done, Sankasar. Beautiful.
Whoa.
Wow, from Seabass87,
very fun.
A very new monster piece because, of course, inspired by the Prismatic Mammoth that just finished its availability this past week. This Prismatic threw a lot of people for a loop when it was first poking through the prism gate. They thought maybe is that a prismatic noggin or something, but no. And this, of course, the most rare of the prismatic color variants for Mammoth.
Well, blue is the best.
Blue. You know what's fun? The blue, the most rare, but that's rare Mammoth's color. And then the least rare, It's purple.
Purple.
That's Epic Mammoth's color.
Funny.
So a little bit of fun there. A little bit of fun. That's just the way these things work out. Yeah, it's just the way these things work out, right? Beautiful. Well done, Seabass.
I believe this is our last one, correct?
Yes, from You Floofy Gast, or rather, user Floofy Gast. Here is an actual cat that has been possessed by the plasmic spirit of
Is that what's happened? It's been possessed?
Yes. Here's a ghast that has slipped through interdimensional highways through the human world and possessed your cat. You know what? Some people would be horrified by this. I think other people would think that was just swell.
What if you have a doggo? What if you woke up one day and the doggo had a face like this?
It would take some getting used to, but provided that
would you be spooked?
I would. I'd be spooked. I would definitely be a little concerned, but I'd hope that the ghast was also friendly.
Yes, of course.
Was also friendly, and hope that my dog was still in there somewhere. maybe the dark passenger. Or the light passenger, as the case may be. All right, so those are all of our monster pieces for the week. Thank you to everyone who submitted. Again, if you've got a monster piece, send it in to us. We love to take a look at them and feature them here on My Singing Monsters Live. Lots of nice stuff this episode.
Eric, cue it up.
We've got our giveaway winner ready to be announced. Monster Handler Michael, would you like to do the announcement?
Yes,
I'll do the drum roll.
Luke Pawfast.
Congratulations, Luke.
Did we say what they won?
No, we didn't say what they won. We'll say it now.
Message Eric with your friend code.
You've won a rare Wallaby.
Wow.
A rare Wallaby. So Luke, please send us
treat.
your BBB ID /friend code in the chat. And if you do so this afternoon before 6 o'clock local time, when we're done for the week, I can send you your rare Wallaby, and then you can admire it. And you can admire it all weekend. Now, as per usual, we end these episodes with a composer piece. You may wonder why I chose this composer piece this week. Well, rare Wallaby. Rare Wallaby. Normally, sort of a white coloration of its fluffy fur. Rare Wallaby, black fur. What else?
Black sheep.
What else has? Yes, black sheep. But what else is often black?
Cauldron.
Yes, you're getting very warm. A black cat. The familiar of witches.
Wow.
And this is...
the A to
like
B
that?
to C on this.
Yes.
You're the
I'm in the mailroom. Yeah, I'm in the mailroom counting everything off. So, this is Witch's Market by Ahmed MSM0, and it's a beautiful little composition, and I thought totally thematically relevant for this week as we release Rare Wallaby. So, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of My Sing Monsters Live. We'll see you next week for episode 70, and until that time, happy monstering!